Hi guys, thought I'd start a new series which I think I'll call Bargain Shop Projects. The idea is I'll buy something in my local bargain shop, go under various names, Poundland, 99p shop, Pound World, Pound Stretcher. There's quite a few different stores. They're all very much the same. They sell stuff where possible for £1 or less. So the idea is I shall buy something for £1 or less and see if I can make it into something else, preferably a toy of some sort that my grandchildren potentially could play with. Here's a few examples. Vibrating toothbrush. In fact, that one's not a vibrating toothbrush, it actually rotates. But that's £1. A lint remover. That's £1. It's got an electric motor in it. And so that I don't just stick to things that I use electric motors in, I spotted this item, a reverse beeper. Basically all it does is it beeps, and what switches it on is when you put your reversing light on. That obviously, I haven't checked yet, but I am saying obviously, this must have a light sensitive resistor in it that sees you switch your light on, and then it just starts beeping. Again, £1. So that's the sort of things I intend to use for these projects, anything that costs £1 or less. And then what I'll try and do is use things that I've harvested or recovered from somewhere else. For example, a bottle top, a pizza tray, pizza packaging tray, straws. Obviously I'll have to buy the odd thing, like if I use my hot glue gun, I'll need to buy glue sticks to go with it. These straws actually are in a pack of about 100 for £1, so there will be other things that I pay for, but the general idea is the main item within the project will be something I bought for £1 or less, and I'll see what I can make with it. Right, today, out of these items that I bought, I'm going to use this lint remover. Bought it simply because it will have an electric motor in it, and I will use that electric motor to make an electric car. To make it interesting, the chassis I'm going to make out of this pizza tray. The axles, I'll use these kebab sticks, and I'll try and choose some that are reasonably straight. So out of the pack that I've got, which again the pack I think cost £1 or less, and it had let's just have a quick look at the pack, 50 skewers in it. So out of that 50, hopefully I'll find a couple that are reasonably straight. And then the other thing I'm going to use, I've shown this on another one of my projects. These are beer can widgets. Basically they're like ping pong balls, I suppose. I like them because they've got a hole through the middle that I can use to align my axle. So I'm going to use them as the wheels. And that's about it. Oh, I'll use that bottle top as well. So we'll see how we get on. So the project is lint remover to get the electric motor, chassis, and we'll make a sort of a car, electric powered car. Here's our lint remover. Batteries go in there, so that's handy. That's the bit that catches all your lint, which we won't need. I don't think that was supposed to come off as easily as that, but That's the gauze that you have your little rotating blades behind to cut your lint. That's handy, that lifts off, little hexagonal drive in it. Be a little bit careful with that because obviously that's got sharp blades on it. Got a little fan inside. Give it a little, yep, that's come off okay. So what we're left with is we've got an electric motor in there and somewhere to put my batteries. So if we put a couple of decent batteries in there, okay, so we've got an electric motor that works. Right, to cut that I get to use my bargain saw junior hacksaw with 2 spare blades. Again, that cost me £1, but hopefully it'll last for more than one episode. Okay, got me a bit of wood. There's a bit of an edge around there that I can see where I need to cut. In fact, if I start on there, there we go. Need to tidy that up a bit, but at least I've got access directly to the shaft now. Next thing, well, I need to mount that straight on top of there somewhere, but I won't do that quite yet. I'll see if I can sort out how I'm going to get the axle mounted and the wheels, and then we'll see about mounting this. Might have to put it on a bit of cardboard just to give it a bit of extra strength. And I'm also thinking I might leave that cover off because that's just a bit of wasted space, to be honest. Right, just got my cutting boards so I don't damage my desk. Got my bargain store hobby knives here, which are nice sharp things. So I'll be using them. And what I'm going to do, those are going to mount them there and there. So I need to cut some holes through so they go through to the ground, and that just happens to be a handy, in fact I probably don't even need to mark them up, I can probably just cut straight round. Okay, can use straws for the shaft, for the tube that the axle goes in. So that's going to go across like that. I'll hot glue that to the bottom, but I also need to cut a hole somewhere to get through to the pulley. Let's poke a hole through first. In fact, that might well, yeah, that'll do on there. So I've got to put a bit of cardboard on this side of it, so we've got a nice slot in the middle. Well, we'll use this bit of cardboard. That reminds me, I need to get a rubber band. While we're waiting for the hot glue to warm up, there's my rubber band. I need to drill some holes in here so that the axle can go through. You may see that these have still got a bit of liquid in them. As I say, these are beer can widgets, which you'll have to Google or something to find out what they are, but they've got a little bit of beer left in them, so I'm going to have to drill a hole to it so they can drain out anyway. Right, there we are. After a bit of fussing, I've got my cardboard circle stuck to the side of that bottle top. So the idea now is we poke the skewer through, which is a bit stiffer than I thought. Oh, that's okay. Stick them on. Right, yeah, on there. And we mustn't forget that we also need to put the rubber band through. There's my rubber band. Where's my other little bit of... Okay, so that's the general idea, but we're going to mount it on the other side. And the rubber band. Okay, so that's where it's all going to fit. Bit of hot glue inside there. Bit of hot glue inside there. There. Right, the idea will be to mount the motor there somewhere, just hot glue it in place. What I need to do is put a dollop of hot glue on the end of the shaft to stop the rubber band coming off. Just a lump like that. While we're waiting for that bit to cool down, I'll just cut some slots in the front for the wheels to go at the front. I've just measured from the back edge so I got it parallel. I suppose I should have said remember to clean the pizza tray before you start using it. You don't want bits of cheese and tomato. Glue in there, trim the excess off. That's better. Bit of hot glue up the middle. Okay, clear a bit of a space. Okay, now that fits over there and over the pulley. We need a little bit of tension. Glue it down there. We'll let it cool down and then we'll try it out. Okay, time for a test run. So, everything in position. Switch it on. And it's just gone down the stairs. I've got to say, that was fun. Better do a quick summary. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got the electric motor out of a lint collector. I can't remember what it was called now. A lint remover, which basically takes the fluff off your jumpers. I've never used one myself, but that's what it's for. Basically I cut the front of it off so that I could get to the shaft. I've put a tiny bit of hot glue on the end of the shaft to stop the rubber band coming off. We've got a polystyrene pizza tray that our pizzas come from our local superstore. The wheels, I've actually used what are called beer can widgets. I could have just as easily used the balls that come out of underarm deodorants, but I just happen to like using these because they've got a hole in the end already. The pulley I've made out of a bottle top with a bit of cardboard on it to stop the rubber band coming off. The axles are held in place, they're in drinking straw tubes, all hot glued together. Oh, and the axles are wooden skewers, barbecue skewers. And that's it, we have a working electric car. And I reckon that was good fun. That cost me £1. Everything else was effectively free. Certainly the drinking straws, I'd have bought sort of a couple of hundred of them for £1. The meat skewers, that was 50 for £1, so I'm not even counting them in the cost. That's it, job done.